If Democrats gain power on Tuesday, one of their very first projects will be a socialist takeover of American health care. You know what's happening, and your taxes are going to triple, maybe quadruple.
I don't know where he got the triple or quadruple, but just to say that health care is an issue would probably be an understatement. In one poll after another, it ends up being the signature issue most Americans are concerned about. Now, depending on the audience, that could tip an election, because if you're Joe Donnelly in Indiana and you've been pounding that again and again and again and arguing that it's possible, if the right people aren't in charge, that it could be taken away from you or that premiums will skyrocket, it is working for you. Right now, he is very competitive and stands to have a good shot at getting reelected. Let's go to the former Health and Human Services Secretary under George W. Bush, Tommy Thompson. Governor, very good to have you. Are you surprised that issue?
It's always a pleasure, Neil. Thank you.
Same here, my friend. Are you surprised this is such a big issue and apparently resonating?
No. No, absolutely not. In Wisconsin, for instance, we'll use that as an example. Right now, the economy is hitting on all cylinders. 55% of the people say the state's going in the right direction. That means Scott Walker should be a shoo-in without any problems whatsoever. But for some reason, and the state of Wisconsin is no different than other states, once voters get something done, they're looking for the next thing. What's the next thing that's going to affect me? If I got a strong economy, a good job, getting wage increases, I'm happy. What else am I need? Health care. And that's the issue that's resonating in Wisconsin and across this country. I'm not surprised about it, but it's something, I think the Republicans didn't get out in front of fast enough.
Are you surprised that Governor Walker is in such a tight race? I mean, this is his fourth gubernatorial campaign. I remember the one where he was recalled, and he survived that, and then he got reelected, and now this battle. Wisconsin is doing well, to your point. There is a job surge there. And now a lot of people are saying this health care thing has worked its way into it, that he hasn't expanded or been able to tap Medicaid to the degree other governors have from both parties, and that it's put him behind the 8 ball. What do you think?
I think that's true. I think the truth of the matter is the economy is humming along very nicely under Scott's leadership. Scott should be a shoo-in, and 55% of the people polled said the state's going in the right direction. Another indication Scott should be able to have an overwhelming majority. But health care is out there, and right now he's in a fight for his life. I still think Scott's going to win because I think when it finally gets all said and done, all these issues are going to be behind the voters, and the voters are going to say, I've never quite had it quite as good as it is today. I'm very happy with the direction the state's going. I'm going to vote for Scott Walker. I think that's going to be the resident and resounding message that's coming out of the voters tonight.
Governor, do you think Republicans are going to be able to hang on to the House today?
They're going to hang on very slimly, but I think we're going to pick up enough seats to hang on. I would say it's going to be a loss for the Republicans, probably around 20. So I think the Republicans will have a net control. But yeah, they'll be able to stay in the majority because the people just like the people like Wisconsin, the direction it's going. People like the country, the direction it's going under Donald Trump. And I think they feel that the Republicans have kept their word. They've cut the taxes, cut the regulations, are doing other things to increase the power of the military and helping to stabilize the military. I think all of these things in keeping America safe, I think these are the things, the clarion issues that finally the voters going in that polling booth are going to think of, and they're going to pull the Republican lever.
I know a lot of this ends up being politics, Governor. I'm curious because in one survey after another, even Democrats are crediting this president with leading an economic turnaround. Things are looking better, not nearly by the numbers Republicans are, but they say something to the effect, we like what's going on. We don't like the guy who's leading the charge making it go on. What do you think of that?
That's a tough one because the economy is really humming beautifully in the United States right now. And everybody, including Democrats, a good share of the Democrats, as you've indicated, are giving Donald Trump, the success ratio as being the individual that's responsible for it. But the truth of the matter is, Donald Trump says some things once in a while that irritates people. And you know that as well as anybody does, Neil. And as a result of that, people say, you know, he's not presidential enough. He's not nice enough. He's too much of a bully. I love what he's doing, but I don't like the way he's doing it. And that, you know, creeps into the polling booth, and I think it has hurt Donald Trump. Even though they like the direction the country's going, they say, well, we'll still go that way. We just need a change in the temperament of the president.
I hear it. Well, they said that about Andrew Jackson. I should know, Governor, because I covered Andrew Jackson, and it was very controversial.
I was in his cabinet, and you know, Stonewall did. Stonewall did a nice job, but the people didn't like him. And you know that what happened.
Old Hickory, and it was all downhill from there. Governor, thank you very much. Happy Election Day.
You're wonderful. Thank you.